Hi and welcome back to another video. So this is just going to be a quick video kind of going through how I set up my ad campaigns for clients when doing the social media advertising. And at the start I made a lot of mistakes, kind of doing the wrong things and choosing the wrong options, and I kind of learned as I went on. So before you start doing any kind of advertising for a client, I'd recommend to just watch this video because you don't want to waste their money, and like if you get them bad results, they're just not going to trust you. So kind of knowing what to do from the start is very helpful. So this is what I'm going to try to do in this video, just setting up an ad campaign, which is fairly basic, but there are ways you can go wrong and what people do wrong. So we're just going to hop onto the computer there now and I'll show you how I do it. Okay, so we're just on my ad account there now. I only have done 4 ads, like I was just testing out last week. But what you do, so you go to Meta Business Suite and you go to the ads manager and to the campaigns here. So when you get to campaigns, you'll just start off by clicking create. And these are the options that they show. So it's awareness, traffic, engagement, leads, app promotion, and sales. So when I kind of started out, I was choosing traffic because I wanted to get traffic to the site for my clients. But this was about a year and a half ago now, maybe more, and I just was sending traffic to the site. But like, if whatever you tell Facebook to do, it's going to do. So if you say awareness as your campaign, it's gonna just put people who are likely to watch the videos or to click and like maybe. And then for traffic, it's people who are likely to click and they mightn't do anything. They just are likely to click the button and see what's going on, but they mightn't buy or anything like that. And that's the same with engagement. If you do engagement, they're just going to be liking and view the videos. For leads, then it's going to be put in front of people who are likely to fill out a lead form, and that's the same with sales. So if you click a sales campaign, it's going to be put in front of people who actually buy through social media advertising. So the Meta AI is just very good at kind of knowing what people do. So it just goes off what their tendencies are and what they're likely to do. So the 2 campaigns that I focus on now are sales and leads, because that's what businesses want. And if you're choosing these campaigns, it's going to be put in front of people who are likely to do these things. So I'd kind of stay away from the other ones unless you're trying to build up a page and you're doing social media management for someone. It's quite helpful to do that, to just drive people and get followers and stuff. But what I've noticed is that, like, I grew a page to 12k or something, 12k followers, and I noticed like it's still more important just getting sales. Like, you don't need that big of a following to get the sales. So I just recommend doing leads or sales campaigns, and that's why I prefer doing social media advertising rather than social media management, because you can drive people and get followers to the page, but it mightn't convert to sales and they're kind of asking, oh, what's going on here? So I'd recommend doing sales or leads. So for this example here, I'm just going to do a sales campaign and I just click continue. Okay, so the option that comes up now is Advantage Shopping Plus or manual sales campaign. And I actually used to always stay away from the Advantage Plus shopping campaign because I just didn't trust it and I didn't believe it worked. And I don't think it did work very well a few months ago. But as the AI in Meta has improved, I've actually started testing it out and the results from it have been crazy. Like, and there's way less you have to do way less work really, and they kind of do the targeting for you. But saying that, I'd start out with the manual sales campaigns because I think in the accounts that I'm using now, there's so much data already. So Meta knows who to put the ads in front of. But when it's a fresh account, it's quite tough to kind of do that, and they can be put in front of anyone. So I kind of like to go with a manual sales campaign generally, but it is worth trying Advantage Plus shopping campaign if they have data on the account and if they're willing to test the budget really and test what works and stuff like that, which I'd recommend doing. But in the last while now, like I've an ad running at the moment for a client, and in 7 days it's like 250 to 1 ROAS just from an Advantage Plus shopping campaign. And like you can still get these kind of, but 250 is crazy. So I actually haven't seen that high. But we're just going to go with a manual sales campaign for this kind of example because that's very simple to set up. So this is just a bit more kind of technical really. So you click continue then, and you can name the campaign whatever you want. I'll just name it test. And so that you only need to declare one of these if you're doing any of this. So if you're doing credit, employment, housing, social issues, elections or politics. So I don't need to select any of them. And it's going to be auction buying type, and the campaign objective is going to be sales. So like when you connect up your Shopify, like if it's a Shopify or whatever web hosting they use, you connect it to your Facebook, you can turn this on. So like you can create a catalog from the products that they have on their website, and it can be very helpful. Like I always test out different variations, and I'll explain that more in the ad section. But just for this part, like it's good to know that you can connect up and create a catalog. And then the next is the A/B testing, and I don't do it through this. I actually just make a different ad altogether and a campaign really, because I feel like sometimes it kind of pushes the budget more towards one than the other. So I just kind of make two different campaigns with the same kind of with different ads and same targeting options or whatever I'm trying to test. I just think it's cleaner and it's easier to kind of track because you know exactly how much is being spent and all that. And then the advantage campaign budget, I just generally leave that off as well. So I leave all these off unless you have a catalog and you want to do that. But if you go on to the next step then, so you can name this test ad set, and you want to select your conversion location. So generally it's going to be the website, or if it's an app, it's going to be, but mine is generally to a website. I normally choose maximize number of conversions, and then you connect, so you make sure that the Facebook pixel is connected. I found a few issues now in Europe compared to the US, like the tracking isn't as good since iOS 15.1 or 15.4 or whatever it was, because they were asking people, a notification popped up on Facebook and Instagram being like, would you allow apps to track off Facebook and Instagram? And a lot of people were saying no. So it's kind of more challenging when you're not in the US or not advertising in the US. You set up the events then. I can do this in another video, how to set up the pixel and how to set up the events. But I generally so I don't have it set up because I don't have a purchase kind of thing on my page, because it's just for leads really. But I generally just go with purchase, but you got to make sure that I won't click it now because it's going to show IDs and stuff like that. But make sure this is whatever conversion event you want. So if it's add to cart or whatever, but I generally go purchase or lead. So if they fill out a lead form or if they make an actual purchase, because then you can show the ROAS, the return on ad spend, after something is bought. I generally leave this off. And then with the budget, then that's completely up to yourself. So maybe start with just $5 a day, because you're just testing at the start, so you don't want to be wasting money. So you got to test, see what works, what doesn't, testing different ads, testing different ad copy, but I'll explain that in the ad set or in the ads in the next step. And I don't generally set an end date, because what I've noticed is that it holds the budget until the last 2 or 3 days, and then it pushes the budget for those 2 or 3 days. So the sales tend to spike for the last few days, but it's just annoying because I want it just to be spending like at a steady rate throughout every day. And when at the end of the month, like if you're doing sales for a company and they have to get all their sales done by the end of the month, and if you set their end date on whatever the 30th of May or whatever it may be, then like those sales aren't going to go through to their like bottom line really at the end of the month, and they're not going to get those sales across. So I'd recommend not setting an end date, because you can just turn off the ads when you want to then. I know it's small bit more work, but it's not that hard to turn off the ads. You just have to click here when you're doing it. So I'd recommend not to do that. And I don't do budget scheduling either for specific times. So then you keep going down and you select your location. I'm in Ireland now at the moment, but like Ireland's quite a small country as well, so I keep those quite broad, the options, because like when you start putting in suggestions and stuff, it gets very small. But I always use this when I'm making a manual sales campaign, and I'll show on another video how I make the custom audiences. But I generally make a lookalike and a custom audience. I have nothing on this account now, but so it'd be like a lookalike audience. So you put in a CSV file of their customer list, and you can put that in here as a custom audience, so the customers. You can put in a lookalike audience of those customers, so to 1% of those customers' tendencies. So then it targets people who are like your customers also, or like the customers of the person also. And this is just very good for like kind of narrowing it down, and kind of when you're starting off as well, it's very handy because you don't know. It's probably the best way you can kind of get towards that audience and see, and then Facebook can learn as well as that is happening. So you can do that. Then you can do your Facebook interactions, Instagram interactions, website interactions. So once you link up everything, it's and then you're not actually telling it what to do. Like detailed targeting is, so you're not actually telling it what to do, you're just giving it suggestions. So it will like try its own thing, and then it will come back and then try the suggestions that you put in front of, and whichever one is working better, Facebook will know, and it's just going to go towards that and put the budget towards that. And it's very good at kind of identifying that. And as I said, the AI is just getting way better, and that's why the Advantage Plus shopping campaigns are actually starting to come good, as much as I hated using them before. And then for demographic interests and behaviors, you can do that as well. I don't make the targeting too detailed though. So like you can test different targeting options, like so you can test like the audiences for one, and then maybe you can test like their interests or demographics for another. But I wouldn't put too much on something on an ad set, because it just gets too narrowed down and it gets too specific. So it's just better to kind of test them in different ads campaigns, because then you can see which one's performing better, and you can kind of go towards that rather than testing them all on one single ad, because you won't know what's working. So test them on different ads, and like age and gender and stuff like that. If you're going towards, like, say if it's a women's product like a skincare or something like that, you can just do women, and if maybe age is, I don't know, 25 to 40 or 50. So you can kind of know, and you can get this information from your client. So when you sign up your client, make sure to have everything, like have a questionnaire. I can share my questionnaire in another video if you want, what I ask clients. So like the more details you can have, the better, and the more information you can have, the better results you can get, and the quicker they can come. So then you don't have that risk of losing a client. So the beneficiary and payer, that's just going to be your business. So mine's here, so you just select that. And if they're different, obviously you just put that in, and you just select this on, and then pick a different person, whoever's paying the bill. So the Advantage Plus placements, I generally leave it on as well. It just kind of, Meta just kind of places them in places that, so like it tries them in all different locations, and whatever is getting the most clicks or the most kind of reach and stuff like that, it tends to just put them in front of that. It's just, the AI is crazy, to be honest. So you go on to the ads then next. And this is where I do most of my kind of testing, like along with the targeting options as well, of course. But I've found like the targeting is becoming less important as the more Meta learns, just the easier it gets. So it's a lot about the creative, I think. And testing different creatives is quite important, because the creative is like 80% of it now, I think, of what people click and what if they'll buy or not. Well, like your job is to get them onto the website. So like when you can show the clicks, and if there were no sales coming, then you can kind of communicate with your client saying, look, something needs to be changed because it's getting a lot of interactions, but maybe the price is wrong or something like that. But once you can show that you're getting clicks through is just very important. So the 3 ads I kind of tend to do, the first is a manual upload, and I either do a video or a carousel. So for the video, like maybe it might be, like I enjoy doing the video content side of things, and I try to incorporate that into my kind of offer. So having a video of the product in real life is a lot, I've seen a lot of good results with it, because people are a lot more trusting rather than just a still image, because they actually see the product in use and stuff like that. And it doesn't even have to be quite a professional video, like sometimes just a basic, quick kind of reel almost does very well in areas like this. So it's a lot of trial and error. And the second kind of video or the second type I do is a carousel. So I might have 5 or 6 different, I just make them up on Canva, and I put the product in, kind of say if it's a spring sale or a summer sale, I just put that in. And like you kind of know, after a while of doing work with a client, you kind of know which products get the most clicks and get people to the website. So you kind of start to understand what to do and what not to do. And then the third option is a catalog. I obviously don't have a catalog connected, but you should connect this to whatever website the person has. Because I used to use them, but now I've actually started to use them a bit, where you just literally select the catalog images, so it would bring the images from the website just onto this. So you can either select the ones that you want to kind of promote, or just let Meta do the choosing and pick a thing of about 20 products, and then it will just kind of test them which is working, which isn't. So it's a good way to do it like that if you want to test a load of products. And if you want to have a link straight to the product, it's quite handy without having to do much extra work and putting in the links yourself. So doing in that kind of side is helpful. You add in the media here then, so if it's a video or a carousel, whatever, you just select it up here. And I'll do another video of kind of how I make the creatives. So this video is just going through the campaigns, but I'll just do another video kind of going through the creatives and how I make the videos, the images in Canva, and like connecting the catalog and all that. But for the text, I've started to use ChatGPT a lot, and I think it works very well. So I'll just go over to ChatGPT a second. And this is the kind of prompt I use. I normally do a bit longer, but this is just an example for the video. So please write me ad copy for a social media ad in the AIDA format. Please also include a headline description. The product is organic face cream targeting women in the US. So the AIDA format is attention, interest, desire, and action. And I've just found that this is the kind of best way to do the social media ads. And like I was testing my own ad copy and another ad copy, and I found this just works as well. But as you can see here, I found on social media ads that the shorter kind of ads tend to do better rather than these long kind of ones. So I just literally said, please give it to me shorter. So it just says, reveal your natural glow with organic elegance. And in the description, discover the luxury of our organic face cream designed for every woman who values purity in skincare. Generally for the description though, I'll show you that in a second, but I do something different. And then the ad copy here, so it's attention, so fed up with skincare that under-delivers, go natural. Our organic face cream uses only the finest natural ingredients, ensuring your skin is nourished without harsh chemicals. See the difference? Smoother, more radiant skin in weeks. Shop now and get 20% off your first purchase with the code PURE20. Embrace natural beauty today. So like that's a perfect ad copy in my opinion. And you can make some changes to it, of course. Like it's not always going to be perfect. So you just put this in, delete these obviously, and make sure if you're copying and pasting to delete that stuff. And you can add in emojis then, like I won't be doing it now, like, but whatever ones. So maybe, I don't know, you can add in, I don't know, a woman or whatever, and add in stuff that kind of will attract the audience that you want. I think it's always good to have 1 or 2 emojis in, so it kind of just looks like a nice ad and people trust. But then again, try it and test it. So then with the headline, I'd use the headline that was just up there, reveal your natural glow with organic elegance. So I just this is just an example of just say for face cream. And then for the description, I just usually go free shipping and warranty if they have that, or whatever kind of bonus that they offer. I'd recommend doing that because it just comes up below the ad, and it's very helpful, I think, kind of getting people to click. So that's kind of it for the ad copy then. And so you just insert the website here, so I can kind of link to that and send people to the website. So I always make sure these are on. I won't click them now because my pixel is going to pop up, but make sure the two of these are selected so I can track everything and just set up all the events. And like so you can make one campaign maybe and then make different ad sets with different ads and different copy and stuff like that. So it's all about just trial and error really, and testing what works and what doesn't. And the first few weeks are going to be, the results aren't going to be great maybe if it's a new ad account and stuff like that. But make sure to inform your client before this happens. And like what I've been trying to do now is do a 3-month contract, because like then you have yourself kind of set expectations, being like, look, the first month mightn't be great results. And then once we start to understand the targeting and build kind of a relationship with your audience and see what works and what doesn't, then you get to understand what to do and what not to do. So you just gotta set expectations before you sign up a client, because like they're gonna be much more accepting then if the results aren't great for the first month. But like it just builds on top of that, and just mention to them it's an investment rather than just spending money. Like it's gonna grow over time, and you just gotta be kind of testing different ads and make sure you're doing your part of the deal. So that's kind of it for this video now. I know it was just kind of a quick kind of tutorial, but that's what I generally do for my ad campaigns for my clients, and I get great results. And I'll do another video there now during the week or next week of how I do the creatives and what I test differently between them, because as I said, it's like 80% of what people click really is the creative. So making sure you kind of have that locked in is just very important. So if you liked the video, feel free to like and subscribe. And if you want to contact me, you can just message me on Instagram at markmurphy23, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. So thanks very much for watching.